Well, hello everyone. Happy Throwback Thursday, and the rotation leads us to a Bionicle review, and this one's on Mahri, Hewkii, and Kongu from 2007, of course. So we'll start out with Kongu here. So, and of course, as for this time, the Mahri, which first told us a bunch to not be all the same, but just with different unique builds for that, which carried on from the Baraki, the earlier wave for that. As for Kongu here, kind of extra thick and chunky, which although you'd expect to be like kind of slim and all for the Toa of Air characters, but uh, I think they just wanted to do something a little unique with that for this wave. But yeah, so starting with the feet here, which are just the traditional Rakshi feet, but in dark green, which great to use for mocking for that. Then as for the legs, which are just the Vaki limbs, but in gray for that, like we saw on Karapar for that. And then the armor parts, which are just the Toa and Nika armor parts, but in dark green. And of course, even though that Toa and Nika Kongu didn't had silver armor pieces in this color for him, but this which kind of makes up for that. So nice to see there. And then also did get used on Lisa Vic as well. But yeah. And then as for the body part of which just of a Toametru waist there, and then also this large torso part, which is quite unique, where it's like one little part of which, and then also uh, two Toherdika lower arm parts in dark green, which as I turn around to it, as you see, kind of interesting how that is. And of course, this all did carry on into Fantoka Pohatu the following year, or as well, yeah, or following wave actually. And then had this Toametru chest armor part, but for the backside for whatever reason. Although could have also worked out on the front, but yeah, I think it's like that to make him more complete then. And then as for the arms of which are completely symmetrical on both lines. So if you're a fan of symmetry, this is quite the winner. This is a winner for you. Then as you have the Toametru armor bits, and then also a couple extra shots for the Korak blaster as well. Since of course with all of the Toa Mahri and other sets that had the Korak blasters kind of had ammo on extra spots to them. And then the lower arm, just the Toametru arm piece in light gray, and then as for the hands, which traditional hand pieces, but also have the Korak blasters, but in Kongu's case, which has two of them, unlike with the rest of which had just one. For that, I think is probably to kind of fitting to him. And if look back on Toa and Nika Kongu, he which did have two projectiles, but one of which being the strobe light weapon and one the Zammersphere launcher, but this is which two projectiles that do fire for that. And then as for the head part of it, or the head and mask of it, well, the mask of which kind of interesting for us, is like little bits that come out frontwards, and also a whole entire open spot without a little extra bit for separating the eyes, and also has the tube part, since of course this year 2007 introduced tubes, which carried on into the following few years. But yeah. And interestingly, you may think this is like two tubes, but it actually isn't. It's one that's wrapped around that, just like we had with Holly as well. But Joller, which only one to use two tubes for that. And then as for the back head part, which has this little extra oxygen tank for that, but comprised of an astromech droid body piece and dome kind of part in the trans neon yellow color, and also take that off, and then have this extra. Oh wait, hang on. And also the eye stalk piece, which is like the regular eye stalk piece, but instead of having extra material going outwards, it has a plus rod in it just to make it work. But and also this did get carried on to, or used on most other sets the following year, or most maybe to like cut down cost or something, but whatever. And also notice how the head parts kind of connected in this, which same trend that had been happened with Mystica Golly the following year for that, and to which I think, which kind of limits head movement. Which if you have another blue pin kind of part like this one, you can like attach it and give him actual head posability for that. And even though Fantoka Pohatu kind of fixed that problem, but yeah. And now, as for the Kodak blasters here, which how it works like is almost like a Zamasphere launcher, where you press on it and fires out kind of rapidly. But although these, which one of the most fun is of the projectiles. And well, that is about it with Kongu here. And now on to Hewkii. Which, as you can see, from first glance, instead of being all brown, instead is a semi-keat orange mixed with black for that. So, maybe since this was kind of a turning point to them, and this did carry on into Mystica Bitel, or Makuta Bitel in the Mystica line the following year. And also, the Black Witch is sort of like the gunmetal grade that Toa and Nika Hewkii kind of had, but yeah. So, starting out with the feet here, which is mostly the clawed Toa and Nika feet, but in black, which also carried on to Toa Onua in the Mystical line the following year, and then these lower legs of which just traditional Metru limbs, but in black for that. And then the thighs of which are just the little connector bits in yellow, and also you have these mace pieces, which also came in the what's called Knight's Kingdom line, but both a few years prior, or the few years prior to that. But if put together, then they make a mace for that. And these, which did also carry on into Stranius in the 2009 Glatorian Legends line, but they were in black, but this in silver for that. Then the upper part, which is just the Metru waist, and then the Paraka body, but in Keat orange for that, which is nice to see here. And then as for the arms, which are completely asymmetrical for that, but at least one that you gotta have to work with. And like one arm which has these two sword kind of pieces is for that, which were also used on Hydraxon and a couple other sets, and also a few the following 2 years. But yeah. And also have these little bits here that hold his extra Kodak ammo for that, whereas he and Kongu, which only wants to use 4 extra Kodak bits on them instead of like 3 for the other sets. And then for the arm part, which is just a Paraka arm piece, but in Keat orange for that, great for mocking, and also not at all a hand piece onto it, although you can add one on if you wanted. And also just holding the Kodak blaster underneath it, using these kind of bits to it. Kind of clever thinking for that. And then as for the other arm of which, nothing going on there. And also notice the like chain or system chain to it, which there's whereas there's supposed to be 2 on this set, but I have which have just 1. But I kind of forgot about that before this review. But if you like have this set or ever get this set, then you would know that there are 2 included. There is supposed to be 2 in this set. Just saying, but yeah. And then as for the other armor, which is just a traditional Bionicle limb, but in black for that, and then heading on to call his Warblade, which looks almost like a harpoon, but without the gun part. And then as for this blade part of which did get used plenty of times afterwards, but at first exclusive to him, and also this whole weapon of which did get also reused on Vorox in the 2009 Glatorians line. But however, the staff piece was a lot lower, smaller than that. But however, it's a lot longer for that. So there's a little bit of difference there. But yeah. And also as for his tube, which connects to there, and also through the body into one spot on the back for that, which is kind of a unique way to doing so. But as for his head area part, which unlike all the mask parts which connect on where the mouth is, instead it's a little extra connector bit that holds the tube part of it, and this whole head part, which is, or the whole mask which is just a large piece that goes over the mask for that. And also has this little rod that holds it all together, and also have two holes that connect a red spike onto it, but it does include an extra red one that you can put on if you like. But however, this whole piece, which you can definitely use for like an axe blade or something if you wanted, and of course holding and also using the traditional Toametru head and eye stock piece, like most of the sets at this time. Yeah. And so now on to the final verdict. So overall, these two of which are quite good sets for how they are. Like Mahri Hewkii does have quite a few good recolors of like the Paraka arm and body and so on. And also nice to see the mace pieces, but used as armor ring, obviously. And as for Kongu, which kind of a unique body build to that, which we also got on Fantoka Pohatu the following year. And also has two Kordak blasters, which even though all the other sets, or most of the other sets, which had just one for that, so at least he has some way to stand out for that. And also pay a little tribute to Inika Kongu, which also had the two projectiles, but yeah. And also first set of using the lower or smaller eye stock piece for that, but yeah. Even though it was used on a lot of sets afterwards. But however, as for the like $9 to $10 or just $10 that they were back in 2007, still great for how they were. Right? And these also do work out as good parts packs for your mocking and so on. Like especially Kongu's mask piece and both of their mask pieces also workable in mocking. But yeah. And then also, and what else is there to say? Not much, but yeah. And so now, if any of you still have these sets from back in the day, well, I hope you had some great memories of them. And for those of you who haven't and are still looking to get these sets, I'd say definitely pick them up. eBay, Bricklink, Mercari, Bricks and Minifigs, whatever. And that is it with this video. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching.